I look like a fucking old lady. Like, this jumper is giving rich old lady. Kind of love it though. Hello everybody, good morning. It is a beautiful English day outside, and by that I mean it is grey. It's very grey. So, sorry about the lighting in this video. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't have any studio rigs that I can just hook up in here, so it's gonna be a little bit dimmer today, but isn't it always? Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video, and it's kind of just like an accumulation of a bunch of different recommendation-y videos that I've seen online. It's basically kind of like a mixture of like a book bingo, a recommendation video, a prompt video. What I have is a bunch in my little jar, a bunch of like book prompts that are all kind of like romancy, kind of Valentine's Day-y based, just because, you know, it's February, May as well. Look at these sleeves. So these are all kind of like romancy, Valentine's-y based prompts, and then I'm gonna find a book on my shelf that I think best encapsulates it and then recommend that for you. This little jar is very sweet and cute because it has its little thing, but that's really useless for like taking them out, so I'm just going to take a little straight into it. First one, I have like about 24 in here, so I think I'm going to do like 10. So first prompt. Let you see it first. Unexpected romance. Oh, is that unexpected to us as the reader? Because I can always suss out a romance. No such thing as unexpected romance. I think unexpected book-wise. You know what I want to pick, but I'm not, because that would be a spoiler. I feel like any romance book is kind of unexpected because they don't go into it, they're looking for it. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna go with Simple Wild for this, because when I think of an unexpected romance for like the people in the book, anything you could kind of say is unexpected because they never really go into it looking for a romance. It's like whatever situation happens that brings them to it. This one is more of like a enemies to lovers is a strong word, but they do not like each other at all. Specifically, the guy, Jonah, he does not like Calla, who is the main girl in this book, at all. He thinks she's a little brat. This book is basically about a girl called Calla. She lives in, I think, Toronto, like a big city. And she basically gets a call that her dad, who she's pretty estranged from, needs her to come see him. Like, you need to come see him now, something bad's happening. So she ends up going out to see him, and he lives in like rural Alaska and flies planes. Sure. As soon as she gets there, she meets this guy, Jonah, who's also a pilot, and he is just not into her at all, doesn't like her vibe, not interested whatsoever. So them developing what they do is pretty unexpected, and it's very cute. I really love this series. There's like 2 books, a novella, and then a last book which I haven't read because it's like a different character's story. This is fun. Can you read it? Love triangle drama. God, I need to find a love triangle that I actually enjoy, because what is a love triangle that I like? Now I'm like stuck because I feel like I was talking about one the other day. I don't have the first book because I read it and I gave it as a gift to my sister, but this series, the Natural series, this is the second book, Killer Instinct. This is, I like actually recommending this because it's not just like a romance at all. Actually, this is a YA mystery series, but there is a bit of a love triangle, like a teenage romance. Oh, it's very sweet and cute, and there is a bit of a love triangle drama going on in there. And I think it's more palatable, and like I enjoy it more because they are teenagers, and it's like teenagers are stupid and they do stupid things and they don't understand their emotions, so seeing a love triangle in that setting is a little bit less irritating, I think, than in like a proper adult like romance book, because then you're like, okay babe, you've got to just like pick one, and also how can I really connect to any of these romances if you like someone else? It's a bit different because the teenage hormones, the craziness. Also, it's a subplot, so you're not just like being slammed with it all the time. So, and I would just recommend the series in general. Ooh, fairy tale romance. Okay, so is that like a retelling, or is that like, I think this is a fairy tale. Okay, Curse of the Wolf King by Tessandra Odette. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Tessandra Odette does this whole Entangled with Fae series, which is a bunch of different retellings that obviously have Fae in them somehow. This was my favourite one, I think. It's also the first one I read out of them. I've read 3 of them. So it's been quite a while, so I don't know if I would still love it as much as I did then, but when I read it, I gave it a 5-star. Like, I loved this. It's about this girl called Gemma Bell, and the whole thing kind of takes place in like, it's an interesting mixture of like a fae realm and then kind of like a high society kind of situation. I think the scenario is, it's been so long since I read it, so forgive me if I get it wrong, but I believe that she is living in like the fae country or the fae kingdom, and humans have kind of like come over to kind of settle in certain areas. So she's a human, and the humans kind of give like that kind of like high society kind of Bridgerton vibe, and then you have the fae, who some of them give that, and then some of them are like animals. I believe that she just ends up getting captured by him for some reason, as you do in Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember why, but I just remember loving it, so I would recommend this. This is really fun. Valentine's Day setting. Oh, bugger. I don't know. I would have to read through them. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. Is that a bad word? I feel like that's a bad word for like older English people. Like, my nana would be pissed off if I said that. Oh, I don't know. What kind of question is that? I'm pissed off now. I'm pissed off now. I'm not having fun anymore. I can't even remember what I had for dinner yesterday. How am I meant to remember if any of these books have Valentine's Day in them? Forgive me if I'm wrong, because I can't exactly remember, but I'm not looking it up. I can't be bothered right now. I feel like BJ's birthday, the guy in this, is Valentine's Day, or the day before Valentine's Day. It's around Valentine's Day, and I'm pretty sure we see his birthday, so Valentine's Day happens. Is it Valentine's Day? Am I wrong? I feel like it is. When is Valentine's Day? Oh, fucking hell. This is Magnolia Parks, one of my all-time favourite series. I say that only having read 2 books, but that's not even true anymore, because guess what I'm doing right now? And I am reading that for a reading vlog. I think that might be my next video out. If it's not out, it'll be my next one. A reading vlog with that in it. Magnolia Parks, a book about Magnolia and VJ, Valentine, and all their friends. They are living in like kind of like very high society London. Like, they are rich, like billionaires. Sure. And they just have this very back and forth, toxic, weird relationship where you're like, no way should these people end up together in any other scenario. But for some reason, these two should be together, even though anybody else in this setting, I would tell you, no, you shouldn't be with that person. For some reason, they just belong together. Like, I'm sorry. And being back in the world, it's like such a love-hate thing for me, because half of me is like, I just love this. I love this drama. I love these people. I love everything about it. And then the other half of me is like, I hate this. I hate these people. They're so annoying and dumb, and it's the same thing again and again and again with them. I'm like getting sick of it, but also I'm still turning the page. So am I sick of it? And no. If you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend trying it, because either you're gonna love it or hate it. Either way, you're not wrong. There's arguments for both. Wow, I really killed that. I didn't think I'd be able to find anything. I'm still not confident about that one. Okay. Bookish proposal. What the fuck is that meant to mean? These prompts are stupid. Who wrote those? Doesn't every epilogue have a proposal in it? A bookish proposal though. Some light reading. Give me a minute. Wouldn't that be a spoiler though? That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. No, I'm doing a different one because that's a spoiler. Sorry, I don't know who wrote that shit down. They didn't even think. That's a spoiler. So we're gonna pick a different prompt because that was a bad one. Bad prompt. Book boyfriend/girlfriend goals. I can do this. I can definitely do this. I'm gonna try and pick different books than what I usually pick because my brain is telling me just pick love theoretically. Jack all the way, but no, because I always say that. Okay, I'm gonna go with yours truly. Book boyfriend and girlfriend, but the couple in here, I love them. So this book is about Dr. Brianna and Dr. Jacob. Dr. Brianna has recently just finalised her divorce and she is just not feeling too great about it. She's having a hard time. She's looking after her brother who's got stuff going on. It's just, you know, she's having a hard time. And then there's this new doctor that comes into her workplace and he's just a bit of a dick to everybody apparently, or that's how they perceive him. He just does not come across well on the first day. And honestly, poor Jacob, because the thing with Jacob is he has a lot of social anxiety, and if you are someone with social anxiety, you know that that can sometimes come across as just being rude to other people, because you'll find yourself just stood in the corner of the room with like a face like a smacked ass, when inside you're like freaking out, but on the outside you just look like this. So everybody thinks that you're rude when really you're just nervous and you've got anxiety. So Jacob has a really bad first impression, but then he takes it upon himself to write a letter to Brianna to try and explain himself, and then they start going back and forth, and it's very sweet because Jacob is just a gem in general, but then also Brianna really like takes the time to understand him and make him feel comfortable. Doesn't try and like change him and force him to adapt to just how it is. She tries to make it easier for him to just like live basically, and I really love that. This is really sweet. I kind of want to do a reread of this now. Maybe I'll listen to the audiobook. That's a good idea. And then I picked Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which this is a very random pick for me because I didn't love this book as much as everybody else did. I gave it like a 4.25. I don't really remember that much about it. I feel like I kind of want to reread it because everything about me would usually love this, so I don't understand why I didn't. Maybe I'll audiobook it and see if I like it more. That's my favourite thing to do. This is about a girl called Payden, and she's living in a society of elites and she's an ordinary. That's going to be kept under wraps though, because I think they killed all the ordinaries. I don't know why, but she basically gets put in this like trial situation. It's kind of like Hunger Games-y. And she's an ordinary, so what the fuck's she gonna do? Oh yeah, it's a bunch of elites. But she's also like a badass. Like she's so sick. So she's probably gonna fare better than the average person. And also in the trials is this guy Kai, who is the prince, but he's also just like his father's like head assassin, executioner basically person, which is an interesting concept, like prince but also assassin guy. I don't know, it's weird. So he's in the trial as well, and he just really fancies her off the bat. He's like, wow, look at you. And immediately they just have this connection, and it's kind of love-hate, and oh, it's great. See, I'm explaining it and it sounds amazing. I do need to give this a second chance, to be honest. I picked it because Payden is a badass. So for book girlfriend, she's definitely has that like independent, like, what am I trying to say? It's just really fit, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, book girlfriend goals. And then Kai is what he is. I don't really remember much about him. Next prompt, romantic thriller. Okay, now, I'm not a big thriller reader. Let me just throw that out there first off. So this is going to be a struggle because I don't even know if I have many thrillers on my shelf. To be real, the first thing that's coming to mind is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't tend to recommend Colleen Hoover books that much. I've read a couple and I enjoyed them. When I read them, I wouldn't read any more of her books because I feel like she's a good starter. She's a good starter book if like I had someone who's never read a book before. It's like around my age range, maybe a bit younger. When I say a bit younger, like over 16 probably. I would probably recommend them because I think they're really fast, fun, like really engaging storylines. So I think they have their purpose, but you know. This is basically about a girl called Lowen who is a writer, and she's just not having an easy time. She goes to this meeting with this guy Jeremy, who is the husband of Verity Crawford, who is this really big famous author, and apparently Verity is been in some sort of accident or got some sort of illness. I don't exactly recall, but he wants to hire her to come and like finish Verity's last book. She gets there and it's just a very weird vibe. Everything's a bit creepy. Verity is there and she's very creepy. She finds this manuscript that Verity wrote about like her life, and it's just all very weird and scary. At the same time, she's like starting this relationship with Verity's husband, so there is a romance going on in this thriller. I thought it was very fast-paced, very engaging, a little bit creepy. I don't love creepy things, so I did find this kind of scary. Yeah, if you've never tried, why not? That is my answer. If you've never tried, why not? And in saying that, I would just like to make it very clear, I am not having a go or bashing anybody that really loves Colleen Hoover. I've enjoyed all the Colleen Hoover books that I read. I just don't, like, I wouldn't reach for them or recommend them over any other book at this point in my life. Love you. Friends to lovers trope. Okay, so thank you. That's nice and easy. That was a good prompt. My brain is just immediately going to Love and Other Words, so I'm not going to pick that because let's try and keep people on their toes. Or we could go with my favourite Friends to Lovers ever, Addicted to You by Christian Rebecca Ritchie. This is a very long series. You can see the top of it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. Only like 5 of them are specifically about the couple I'm talking about, Lily and Lo. In my brain, the ultimate Friends to Lovers. We start off the series. It's weird to even go back to this point in my brain because I've gone so far in the series, but we start off the series. Lily and Lo are best friends, live together. Everybody else thinks they're dating. Their whole family thinks they've been dating for years and years and years. And it's very believable because they're like best friends, live together, and like maybe are in love with each other, who knows. But the reason that they're fake dating is so they can both hide their addictions. Lo has a very severe alcohol addiction, and Lily has a very severe sex addiction. So, and these things are like really, really affecting their life, preventing them from doing, behaving, living, all of these things. So yeah, and the whole time that they're going through these things, you're kind of watching them you're kind of watching them go through the whole, okay, so we're best friends, we're pretending to date, where's the line, do we have feelings for each other, do we not, It's incredible. I love this series with everything in me and I kind of want to go back and read it. So many books I want to go back and read. I'm not buying any new books because I just want to reread all of my good ones. Yeah, if you haven't endeavoured for Addicted to You, I would really recommend it. It's definitely a journey, but it is very, very worth it. If you like a very character-led story where it's not really like the storyline is whatever it is, you're not really concerned with what's happening, you're concerned with watching these people live like a little creep, looking into their lives. It's so good. And one thing I absolutely love about these books is it jumps from month to month, like a lot. Suddenly you're 6 months later and you're like, okay, I've missed 6 months, but they're just showing you the best bits. It's great. I love it. Should we do 2 more? 2 more. Okay. Love letters or messages. Okay. Am I just going to go for the obvious? Or should I think about it? Is there going to be anything else? I mean, yours truly had some cute little messages, so that could have been that, but... Okay. Divine Rivals, the most romance you've ever read. No, this isn't even a romance. I love this distinction. Someone said this on the Goodreads thing for Archer's voice. They were like, this is not a romance, this is a love story. This is not a romance, this is a love story. This book is so romantic, so beautiful, so sweet, so heart clenching, and then also kind of tragic and like scary, and ooh, it's incredible. It's about these two young rival journalists, Iris and Roman. They both work at the same newspaper, and they just immediately upon meeting don't really get along. They just have this rivalry going on. Things happen. They end up separated for whatever reason, and they both have these typewriters which will magically send letters back and forth. So they're separated and letters are going back and forth, and for a lot of the book the only communication we have, same with the next book, the only communication we have is these beautiful letters, and they're both writers, so they really are beautiful letters. If you like the song Timeless by Taylor Swift and you haven't read this, I read this around the time that Speak Now, Taylor's version, came out, and when I tell you that song and this book put together, oh my god. If the chef could kiss, he would. One more. A good one, please. None of this fucking stupid whatever I've been writing in here. Steamy cover art. I don't think I have many of those. I purposefully don't. Oh my god. It is a lucky day. What? Do you know what? Things happen for a reason. The Kingmaker by Kimberly Ryan. Pretty steamy. Pretty steamy. I purposefully don't buy books with like shit like that on the cover, because I just, like, my grandma was in here the other day, stayed in my room and asked me about all my books. So imagine she's going through my books and just pulls off like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah, so I haven't actually read this yet. I bought this really recently, and funny story, I did not buy this cover. I'll insert a picture of the other cover. That's what was displayed on Amazon when I ordered it. That's what I get for buying books off Amazon. This came and I couldn't be asked to return it or whatever. So yeah, perfect. Wow, can we believe that's just happened? I haven't read this yet, but it sounds so interesting. I'm very excited to read it. The first 3 lines: power, passion, betrayal. I believe it's about a girl who's kind of raised in like a wealthy but kind of like ruthless political kind of family. I think there's a lot of political situations going on. I believe that there's some sort of like enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers romance going on with like the political opposition. I don't know, but I loved the idea of like this political like kind of like, but oh, just all the drama of that. I'm very excited about reading this. I think I'll be reading it very soon. So yeah, isn't that perfect? Wow. I can't really recommend it yet because I haven't read it, but I've got good feelings about it. So that is going to be the end of this video. I don't know if I'm going to keep these prompts because there was some duds in there, so I don't trust that these are all good. I don't, like, why did I write some of those down? I didn't even think about it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Come back next time. That's my favourite thing. That's my favourite thing to say. Okay, bye.